Hello everyone, welcome to the Yarn Bowl. Today in this video we're going to see how to crochet this cute bubble wrap headband or ear warmers for adult size. This is a new addition to my bubble wrap collection. You can find the playlist for other bubble wrap patterns in the description box. So if you want the same headband pattern for child, newborn and baby sizes, it's available in my Etsy page as a single downloadable file. You can find the link of that in the description box as well. I have a free written pattern for this adult size headband in my website theyarnbowlcrochet.com. The link of that is available in the description box as well. Meanwhile, if you're new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. So for making the adult size bubble wrap headband or ear warmer, I'm using this yarn from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. The color that I'm choosing is Graymist. It's a size 4 yarn. You can use any size 4 yarn for this project. You will need a needle, handmade tag, which is optional, and scissors, and I'm going to use 5mm crochet hook for making this headband. So starting, we will work a slip knot and go ahead work 64 chains. Make your chains little loose, don't make it so tight. We'll be working on the third loop. I'm going to show you how to do that. So once you have worked 64 chain, make sure your chain is not twisted, and then work a slip stitch on top of your starting chain to close this round one. So we are making a round here. So now we have worked our round one. So for round two, we are going to work on the third loop of these chains. I'll show you how to do that. So for that, work a chain one. This chain one does not count as a stitch. Gently twist your chain backwards and you can find one loop at the back. So we are going to work one half double crochet on it. So that's why I told you not to work your chains very tight. So I have worked my first half double crochet on the third loop of my first chain. And then I'm going to work one half double crochet on the third loop of each chain around. So I'm going to pick up the third loop of the next chain. So you have your V's on the front. Turn your chains on the back. You will find one loop for each chain at the back. We're going to pick up that loop and work one half double crochet on it. And then I'm going to pick up my third loop, and then work one half double crochet on it. Likewise, we are going to work one half double crochet on third loop of each chain around. So why we are working like this? So you can see the V's at the bottom, which gives a very nice look for your headband. So if you don't work this way, it's not going to look good. So that's why we work on the third loop of each chain around. Go ahead, work one half double crochet on the third loop of each chain around, and once you are done, work a slip stitch on top of your starting half double crochet stitch to close this round 2. So now I'm at the end of round 2. I'm going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting half double crochet. Do not pick up the chain one that we worked. We don't count that as a stitch. So if you want, you can mark a stitch marker to the first half double crochet. So that's the end of round 2. For round 3, we are going to work a chain one, which does not count as a stitch. And once again, we are going to pick up the third loop of this half double crochet stitches. So I'm going to work one half double crochet on the third loop of my first stitch. So how to locate the third loop in the half double crochet? We're going to just gently turn your half double crochet. You can see the V's on the top. You can see one loop on the side. So that's the third loop of your half double crochet stitch. So we're going to pick up that third loop and work one half double crochet on it. So we're going to work one half double crochet on the third loop of each stitch around. so that your V's of the round 2 are going to show up on the side. So it gives a nice texture to your headband. So I'm going to work 1 half double crochet on the 3rd loop of each stitch around, and once that is done, we are going to work a slip stitch on top of your starting half double crochet stitch to close this round 3. So at the end of round 3 we will have 64 half double crochet stitches. So now we are almost at the end of round 3. I'm working my last half double crochet stitch on the 3rd loop, and then I'm going to pick up my first half double crochet stitch and work a slip stitch on it. Do not work slip stitch on the chain one. So mark your first half double crochet with the stitch marker. Now we are going to work pebble stitch round. We'll see how. For pebble stitch round, we are going to work on the wrong side. So work a chain one which does not count as a stitch, and turn your work to the wrong side, and then work 1 single crochet on the same stitch. And then we are going to work a pebble stitch. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook on the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook on the stitch, pull up a loop. Now you have 5 loops on the hook. Again, yarn over, insert your hook on the stitch, pull up a loop. We have 7 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all the 7 loops. So that's your first pebble stitch, and then I'm going to work 1 single crochet on the next stitch, and then I will work 1 pebble stitch on the next stitch. So this working this way on the wrong side, the pebble stitch are going to pop up on the right side. So we will work 1 single crochet in 1 stitch and 1 pebble stitch on the next stitch around. So now I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook on the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook on the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert my hook on the stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all the loops. So I'm going to go ahead, work 1 single crochet in 1 stitch and 1 pebble stitch on the next stitch around. And then once I am done with that, I am going to work a slip stitch on top of my starting single crochet stitch to close this round 4. So at the end of round 4, I will have 32 single crochet stitch and 32 pebble stitches. So now if I turn to the right side, you can see these beautiful pebble stitch coming around. So it gives a nice texture to your headband or ear warmer. So go ahead, work 1 single crochet in 1 stitch and 1 pebble stitch on the next stitch around. I'll meet you at the end of round 4. So now we are at the end. I'm working my last pebble stitch on the last stitch, and then we will work a slip stitch on top of our starting single crochet to close this round. So make sure you have 32 single crochet stitch and 32 pebble stitch. Do not work less stitches. Do not miss any stitch or overwork any stitch because we are working on the wrong side. And then for round 5, I am going to work a chain 1, turn to the right side now, and then I will work 1 single crochet on the top of pebble stitch of the previous round and 1 single crochet on top of single crochet of the previous round. So basically we are working 1 single crochet on top of each stitch of previous round, and then once that is done, we will work a slip stitch on top of our starting single crochet stitch to close this round 5. So at the end of round 5, we will have 64 single crochet stitches. So now we are at the end of round 5. I have completed my round 5 now. So for next 2 rounds we are going to repeat round 4 and round 5 again. So we will work one more round of pebble stitch and then one more round of single crochet stitch. So we're going to repeat round 4 and round 5. So go ahead, repeat round 4 and round 5. Now for round 7 we are going to repeat round 5. I'm going to work a chain 1, turn to the right side, and then I will work one single crochet on top of each stitch around, and then work a slip stitch on top of my starting single crochet to close this round 7. So at the end of round 7 I'm going to have 64 single crochet stitches. So now we are going to end our round 7. Next for round 8 we are once again going to repeat our pebble stitch round for one more time, which will be working on the wrong side. So I'm going to work a chain 1, turn your work to the wrong side, and then work one single crochet on the same stitch, one pebble stitch on the next stitch, one single crochet on the next stitch, and one pebble stitch on the next stitch. So we're going to repeat working one single crochet in one stitch and one pebble stitch on the next stitch around, and once that is done we'll work a slip stitch on top of our starting single crochet stitch to close this round 8. So at the end of round 8 we will have 32 single crochet stitch and 32 pebble stitches. So that's it, our pebble stitch rounds are complete. So if you want you can go ahead, work one single crochet row and one pebble stitch row a few more times if you want a wider headband. So for me I think this width is enough, so I'm gonna stop right here and work the border again, the half double crochet border. So if you want a little bit more of width, you can go ahead, repeat the pebble stitch round and single crochet round for 1 or 2 times. So now I'm going to work a chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and turn to the right side. So now instead of single crochet I'm going to work half double crochet on each stitch around. So I'll work one half double crochet on the same stitch and then work one half double crochet on top of the next stitch. So basically I will work one half double crochet on top of each stitch around and then work a slip stitch on top of my starting half double crochet stitch to close this round 9. So at the end of round 9 I'll have 64 half double crochet stitches. So now for round 10 I'm going to work a chain 1 and then I'm going to pick up the third loop of seam stitch and work 1 half double crochet on it, and then I will work 1 half double crochet on the third loop of each stitch around. So go ahead, work 1 half double crochet on the third loop of each stitch around, and once that is done, work a slip stitch on top of your starting half double crochet stitch to close this round 10. So at the end of round 10 we will have 64 half double crochet stitches that are worked on the third loop. So this is my last row. I'm going to fasten off, work a slip stitch and weave my ends. So now we have completed our headband. I'm going to fasten off and work a slip stitch, and I'm going to weave the ends. Always use a smaller size hook to weave your ends. So as I told you earlier, if you want a wider headband than this, you can work few more rows of pebble stitches row and the single crochet row, and then work your final 2 rows of half double crochet stitches. So now I'm going to sew in the handmade wooden tag which I bought on Amazon. So if you don't want to add the tag, you can completely avoid this step. So I'm just going to sew in using a sewing needle. So this headband measures about 18.75 inches, which is a regular adult size. So if you want to increase or decrease this headband size, you can always work multiples of 2 chains, one for the single crochet and one for the pebble stitch. So you always increase or decrease in multiples of 2 to custom fit this headband, or increase or decrease the size of this headband. So I hope you got an idea how to work. So try this pattern at home. It's relatively simple and repetitive, so it may be intimidating for beginners, but it's absolutely beginner friendly pattern that you should try. And the texture and the look of this headband is wonderful. So the stitches are very close and cozy for winter. So I have worked the same headband in many other colors. Everything turned out to be cute. So these 3 right here are adult size, and this pink, baby pink and white are newborn, and the one that I'm holding right now is a child size, and the yellow is baby size, which is 6 months size. So the pattern for the newborn, baby and child size along with the adult size pattern can be downloaded from my Etsy page as a single downloadable file. I hope you enjoyed making this headbands or ear warmer with me. So if you want a written pattern of this adult size headband, it's available in my website, theyarnbowlcrochet.com. The link is in the description box. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to the Yarn Bowl and click on the bell icon as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.